connecting with personal power, speaking from a place of personal power, knowing your personal power versus the false illusion of empowerment through subconscious programming can be a little bit tricky to decipher, but that's what we're going to play with today. Easy ways to begin to distinguish between the two is the false illusion of empowerment often stems from the vibrational frequency of lack, meaning I need to manipulate, I need to control, I need to imprison kind of the emotions, the words, the energy around me and distort them to validate who I think I am, this false illusion of who I think I am. Now, I used a lot of words that could be considered very negative, but I want you to understand everyone has done this to some degree by twisting meanings, words, and the energy around them rather than connecting to the infinite flow of love within them. Yogananda is here to work us through what this looks like. I'm in a bit of a channeling state. I am consciously channeling. So when you hear me breathing deep, I'm downloading and integrating some information, but a lot of healing also wants to come through at the same time. So if you feel yourself kind of getting sleepy, kind of getting pushed back into your chair, or kind of tuning out what I'm saying, just go with it. It's a lot of high vibrational frequencies coming in to help you rewire, re-script, rewrite, elevate your platform of being. And to do that, we come into your field with really high vibrational energy, and then we begin to open you up. So everything is layered. When you watch movies that make you feel really, really good and uplifted, there's a vibrational undertone to that movie, and it's uplifting. It's the vibrational undertone is spreading out your molecules of energy, making you more light, and that allows laughter and joy to roll through. That's what really good comedians know how to do. They know how to elevate and disperse your energy field, making it a little bit bigger, which allows for joy and laughter to flow through and then creates a ripple effect so everyone around you is laughing too. So what we're doing in this video is we're opening up your field, creating this high vibrational platform to come through. They keep having me pause, take deep breaths as they're rolling these high vibrational frequencies through into this recording so that you begin to feel like you're floating on a cloud. We're just embedding a lot of high frequency light into it to help you connect with personal power versus the more constrained illusion of power that we connect to when we're connecting through the subconscious, when we're connecting through the emotional body. So in order to bypass those limitations, in order for you to feel true personal power, which arises from soul, your soul is source. Your soul is your clearest connection to source in this physical body. We're needing to disperse, to disband kind of your emotional body and the mental body. We're needing to make those actually bigger, which sounds contradictory, but the bigger they are, the less dense they are. It's Jesus. There's a whole council with different beings in it that we're working with, channeling through today. If I sound a little disjointed, sometimes one comes through more powerfully than the other, and it's a slight energy shift that I'm having to maneuver in my body. So they're embedding this frequency, and it's a cushioning for you, and it's filtering up through your body, up through your energy field, and perhaps you can start to feel it. Perhaps you can start to utilize your hands. They want you to start utilizing your hands and act like you're pulling this energy up, 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 up in front of you, up beside you, like do it behind you, really starting to clear and elevate your field, creating space for you so that by the end of this video that you can come into the heart zone, feel that power within you, because it's something that you have to feel to connect with. And we're going to bookmark it in your brain. We're going to bookmark it in your body so that you can come back to it time and time again. What often happens when your emotional bodies and when our mental bodies are denser, when they're a little bit more concentrated around the body, when we're looking through the environment and we're wanting to feel empowered, we're wanting to feel safe, It's coming from a disorganized state of lack. And what we mean by disorganized is that we're going back into frequency. The frequencies are not very coherent, and that creates disorganization in the body and in the mind, and connects in with the neuropathways that are representations of that frequency. So when you're speaking from a place of emotional hurt or emotional trauma or limitation or constriction, a belief that was downloaded from something outside of you, your environment, from your culture, from your society. And we're diving back into the heart. And instead of that, we're wanting to dive back into the heart. So take a breath and again, roll this platform that I've gifted you. Maybe you stand up and you start at your feet and you just start rolling your hands up, 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 up. Maybe you can even imagine like you're rolling smoke. So let's say if there's steam under you and you're wanting that steam bath to come up your feet, up your calves and your shins and your knees and your thighs, rolling up in front of you, all around you, steaming you, giving you a steam cleansing bath, and up and over your head, up behind you. Make sure you get behind you. There's a lot of accumulation behind quite a few of you. We bring energy usually into the back of us. So let's clean up behind, really push that energy up, 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 up. This is one of the fastest ways if you've been out in public and then you're coming back home. Before you step into the door, you want to clear off your workday. You want to clear off the stores that you were in. If you're feeling a little debris, go ahead and roll your hands, clean up your field. We're just lifting the densities up, 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 and out. Utilize the element of air to clean up the back even more. Imagine a big gust of wind coming up right behind you, right behind your thighs, right behind your legs, pushing up your back, up your spine, up your neck, over the top of your head, clean it up over your crown. Ask those guardian angels to come in and start to push, elevate, lift, and clean all this off. And we're going to take it back into the universal stream of energy so that it can be organized into a nice state of flow, of coherence, bringing it back into the frequency of pure divine love. That way it can be utilized for something else. That's the alchemization process. It's just changing one flow state into a more elevated state until it's back into alignment. All right, now they want to bring this nice, beautiful, vibrant green grass energy. Beginning the bottoms of your feet, open the doors at the bottom of your feet. Allow this grass to grow up your feet, up your calves. Feel that grounding and soothing effect. Feel this green grass up your hips, reconnecting all the microbiome in your body, reinvigorating, remembering where they came from. They came from the earth, connecting back to that light, connecting back to that purity that is the soil, that is the earth, that is at its most pristine state. Zipping up the spine, removing any clamps you may have put on your spine to not ground properly because you haven't always felt safe being here. So we're going to dismantle those up your spine. When we don't feel safe here on earth, and there have been times where everyone has not necessarily felt safe, have felt 100% in their body, have wanted to be here. And that doesn't mean that you have wanted to commit suicide, but there are times in all of our lives when we have not necessarily wanted to be here. And you're like, I wish I was in heaven, whatever that is for you. Those times, usually we put clamps on our spine so we don't ground because we don't necessarily want to be here. So we kind of stop the natural grounding process. We're just releasing all of those times that we have slowed ourselves down and allow all this to move up and out. We're not making ourselves wrong for any of this. We're just accepting that we're human and this is a natural way of being human, to experience, think about, wish for a myriad of different things. We're curious creatures. Very, very good. I didn't know this was going to turn into a full healing today, but we're needing a good cleansing. So here we go. Much better. Okay, now that we have your field a little bit more open, Personal power. Personal power needs no external validation. Personal power comes from the heart, and when you speak from a place of personal power, you can feel your chest beginning to expand. You feel really in your body. If we feel outside of our body and we try to speak from that space, that's not a place from personal power, that's external power. Personal power arises from heart. So let's amplify the light that's in your heart. Imagine, see, sense, or know that there's a sphere of light in your heart. It's quite a few of you that have blue. Imagine, see, sense, feel a light blue light in your heart space. Some is green, there's yellow, there's pink, there's purple, there's white, whatever color, whatever someone's, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, everyone that's going to listen to this is like a collective consciousness. I can feel you. Some of you are asking what your colors are. There's a person that's really, really doubting. And that person that really doubts that any of this is real, I want you to concentrate on a pale pink. And a pale, really light. There's a few of you that are yellow. And breathe. And breathe. And then allow for that light, that color to expand and become bigger than your chest. Let it become bigger than your body. And let it become bigger than the room you're in, bigger than the building you're in. Bigger than the country. See, sense, imagine it going through the oceans, above the oceans, under the oceans, until it reaches outside the earth. Go a little bit further outside the earth, giving yourself more space. Now, feel free with eyes opened or closed to put a hand on your heart and say your own name out loud. I am. Say your name. How does it feel when you say your first name? No need for the last name. I am, and say your first name. And how does that feel? Now say, I am, your name, and what lights you up? What brings you joy? Say it out loud. Allow your body to hear it. For example, I am Erica. I value, I love empowering others to expand their expression, their joy, their personal power. I love helping people find their voice, speak their truth, share their gifts. What do you love? I love laughing. I love raising my children. I love exploring myself. I love the recoding, rewiring process. Whatever it is that comes, that lights up your chest, you can feel in your stomach if it tightens or loosens, whether your body agrees with what your soul is desiring. Then there you can find mismatched information. As I was saying things that are true for me, I could feel some of you connecting in with those and stomachs tightening here. That's not your truth. So what you really have to start to come with before we speak from a place of personal power, we have to find it internally first. And there is no rule what's good or bad. Everything's always about you. But maybe what truly brings you joy is receiving a fantastic healing session from someone, being held in that space. Maybe what you love is getting a massage, taking care of your body. Maybe that brings you the most joy. Maybe what brings you joy is being of service to others. Maybe both. There isn't a right or wrong, but we don't want to deny what's true for ourselves. Personal power starts with self-acceptance. It starts with self-connection. And what do I value? What do I love? What lights up my heart? What makes me feel peace? What makes me feel joy? Not what should I value as a healer, as a spiritual seeker, as someone living consciously. Let all that go. None of that is relevant for everyone on the planet. So connecting with self first, connecting with your own desires and what lights you up first. Then from there, you can speak your truth out into the world because you know who you are and what you stand for. I value this. I love this. Once we know what we value and love, and this is something that you're going to want to play with more than once, because every time you elevate your foundational frequencies, meaning your subconscious programming, every time you elevate your wiring, we'll say your wiring, into a higher frequency, more of your soul expression that shines through your heart, more of your source energy codes, this encoding that comes from source that is not programmed by epigenetics, more of that comes into play. More of that is readily available for you to play with in this human container. So as that comes into play, you shift and change. What's important to you shifts and change. What lights you up shifts and change. It's going to go into a deeper dimensional existence of you to know your joy. So what lights you up today is probably not going to light you up the same a year from now, maybe even 6 months from now. It's a continual allowance of shifting and changing to know your personal power, to connect with your personal power, and then be able to speak from that place. I love, more than anything, empowering other people. I love empowering my kids. I love empowering my friends. I love mentoring and coaching clients for that very reason. Yes, we do a lot of deep, deep healing work to re-script, rewrite, elevate pathways. All of that is for the intention, for the goal of people finding their voice, of people expressing themselves in a way that is unique to them instead of a mirror to the culture or to the society or to their parents or what they think is acceptable by social standards. None of that matters. What matters is what's internal for you. So releasing the illusion, we have to expand our platform. We have to expand our energy field so that we can cut to the inside, to the heart, expanding the heart out so that we can feel it, identifying by claiming who we are, by saying what lights us up, what brings us joy, connecting with that, and then speaking through that space and sharing from that space. Because if I say what lights me up is empowering someone, and then in real life, I'm talking down to someone, because even if I can see that someone else is speaking from an illusion of who they are, from a programmed space, if I talk down to them or overtalk them or try to manipulate them in a way that gets them to hear me, I am not empowering them. I am overpowering them, right? So if I remind myself who I am, what lights me up, what makes me feel powerful, then it is a reminder to self how I need to speak and interact from a heart space with people in my environment. It doesn't mean you're going to agree with everyone. I certainly don't agree with a lot of things that are happening in our world right now, but I can speak to it from a heart empowered place so that I'm not allowing myself to feel victim to and speaking from a traumatized victim space, but rather an empowered space. If you enjoyed today's episode, follow, like, subscribe, comment down below. If you want more free empowering content, sign up for my newsletter because you get free access to a library that has empowering videos and activations within it, along with written prayers. Thank you. If you saw colors, share those. If you want to share what lights you up, what makes you feel powerful, what is your power, comment down below. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you spent time with us today. I'm grateful that you allowed for this healing to take place today and found, touched, felt, bookmarked that personal power within you. So much love.